What's up? Black men have to stop being jealous of other black men. I think that's something I've experienced growing up. And not to try to seem perfect or seem like I'm just, an angel walking on earth, but I'm a guy who was never super jealous of people. And I'm not a guy who's super rich or had a lot of money growing up or anything like that. But I've never been a person that's, been that jealous of people, even if they had more than me and I never looked down on a lot of people. And that's something that I just not saying I've done people wrong. I've done bad things, but I'm just saying that's just one of the things that I never really uh went into. And but I have experienced that from other people, being jealous or being envious towards me. And a lot of the times we think that it might be materialistic. It can definitely be materialistic. You could have something that somebody doesn't have. You could, in a materialistic way, you can see people be very jealous, but it also can be in your character and your demeanor and sometimes maybe how you look and stuff like that. And those are the more personal things that you can't really change that somebody will be jealous of you, right? And that's something that I understood that was going to be the biggest thing that was going to drive black men apart from each other. If we have super huge egos where, well, like I got to be better than him, he got to be better than me, and I don't like you if you I don't like you if you doing better than me, and I don't like you if you under me and you ain't doing enough. We got to get away from that. We have to come together as brothers, and I think that one thing that I've observed in myself is that with my own real biological brother, I've never been jealous of him a day in my life because I've never looked at my brother as a foreign person or an enemy or somebody I had to really compete against, right? If your brother is up, then you should be proud and you should feel good about that because in a way you're up because that's your family, that's your brother, right? And so when we come together, even outside of blood, even if we're not blood related, you need to look at a lot of men in that same way. Like, that's your brother. Like, I'm not going to sit here and get jealous of you. I'm not going to look at you as a competition. And I know it could be friendly competition, but we have to understand and make distinctions and, draw a line in the ground where I'm not going to hate on you because you're doing better. I'm not finna look down on you if you're not where I'm at in life, right? And we all need to just get in the mentality of working together and going up together instead of putting people down and not liking somebody because they're up there, right? And this is going to be one of the key factors in us coming together when we can get out of the mentality of being envious, because maybe one brother might have more than you. He might be more successful than you, but that's okay because he's coming together so that we can all rise. That guy who might not have enough can come together with that rich guy, and that rich guy can put him on with stuff, and then the other guy can, we can all help each other, right? And I think that's the mentality to have, not to start separating us from each other, making us being so individualistic. We have to have more of a community mindset. But I know it's a lot of men who are too jealous hearted, they're too envious, they can't see anybody doing better than them. They're gonna pick on anybody who doing worse than them. And I don't want to be around those black men that are like that, right? And me trying to that's not me targeting them, but that's me saying that we can't really build and work together and do something that's bigger than ourselves when we can't come together, because coming together and then when we come together and how all keep stuttering. When we come together and we all have the same mindset of getting better and improving, and then we help each other individually as a group, that is where the magic really happens, where that atmosphere really activates something in us to just do better and know that ain't nobody here against you. We're all for you. And if we have opportunities for you, they're gonna put you on. If they got connections, they're gonna put you on. If it's something that I know that I learned in my life that this young man hasn't heard before and he needs to learn this because he hasn't experienced it yet, then I need to give him that knowledge, right? And if that young man may know something or he experienced something that I haven't experienced yet and is valuable information, I need to be humble and listen to him and take advice from him. So it's all about having, you can have hierarchy, you can have a leader, but the leader has to be the most selfless person. That has to be the person who is willing to make sure everybody is getting what they need, everybody is coming together, and everybody is prospering, and everybody is helping each other, right? And that's the true thing. And when coming together, you have to really get away from an ego, because the more you touch with an ego, the more you start to get into a level of, oh, you gotta listen to me, I'm better than y'all, I'm this and that. That's what separates us. That's what a lot of cults do. They worship this one man, and then this man is just evil, and he don't care. He only care about himself. He don't care about people rising and people actually improving in their individual lives, right? And same thing, you can see the same thing with a lot of preachers. You can see the same thing with a lot of people who run churches, and that's the problem. That's the problem. You got too many men who care about themselves, and they can't look at you if you're doing better than them. They can't look at you if you're doing worse than them. So that man is gonna always be isolated in himself, and he's always gonna be a taker, not a giver. And yeah, it starts with having that empathy for one another. For one another, you can't really come together. We don't have empathy, and a lot of men who don't have empathy, they're jealous. They want to see you down. They want to do better than you and make sure you're doing worse than them, so they can have something over you. They can't really come together so y'all can both go up together. Y'all can both help each other go up together. And I think that's the most important thing, man. And it's just we live in a time where our culture is against us coming together. The only time we come together if it's we coming together in a gang, blood, or a crip, and we about to kill our brothers across the street, just because they rep this set and this over here, and and we kill each other. So look at how many things where the black men come together and they're actually helping each other, right? And I think that's the thing we have to start looking at. Only time you see a lot of black men come together, especially a lot of younger black men come together, they coming together to start killing each other, to start hurting each other, to self-destruct, right? And oftentimes it don't even have to be one group against the other group. One guy in that group could kill another guy in that group, and then, it's things like that. So we have to have uh productive organization, productive times where we're coming together, we're actually helping each other, because that's what they don't want to see. That's what the real enemy doesn't want to see. They don't want us to come together and help each other. And it's outside the basis of religion, where it's theology and stuff. It's actual taking action and implementation and stuff is really going to help us improve as black men, and as a community, as black people. So I got to say, peace out.